the money's not gonna change my aspect of where I come from. Like, nigga, I'ma still buy Reeboks. I'ma still buy,
blue
regular
sweatshirts.
jeans and sweatshirts. Like, my sweatshirt ain't gonna be $2,500.
You know how I can attest that he telling the truth?
I seen him wearing this.
I'm gonna tell you, how I know he telling the truth?
I've been kicking it with Eiht since the 90s.
This is when you was kind of like at your apex. This is like 93. I'm in the Lakewood Mall. You know, I was talking about the Lakewood Mall.
Yeah, this nigga love the Lakewood
Guess who I see
man.
bailing out the? Guess who I see bailing out the Foot Locker? I see your ass bailing. I'm thinking like, man, this motherfucker over here in the mall, that's MCA. I didn't come up to you and talk to you with no like that, but it's just up. I said MCA is really in the mall. And then I saw the motherfucker one day in the what's the Lama Fashion Center?
The swap meet, nigga.
The swap meet. I saw you in the swap meet one day, and I said, this motherfucker really be in the streets.
I never okay, nigga made little bread. You feel me? Did I move out of Compton? Yeah. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? But I didn't get into the money shit, man.
I bet you Mac 10 your ass that money.
Oh yeah.
It's Mac 10.
Yeah, Mac, when I started with Mac, it was,
Shout out to Section 8.
It was just, it's a different time. Me, I didn't, I rode with maybe 3-4 niggas from the hood. I never went out and bought like Rolex watches and like that. When I got with a certain situation, I felt that's the image because the whole crew,
That's what
you
the crew
get
was
me?
doing.
The whole, I didn't never have chains and I got with Mac, they had hoop hanging chains and niggas had Rolex watches. And so, I was one of them niggas who I didn't want to forget where I came from. And I didn't want to forget the struggle that I went through. Like, nigga, I ain't always been rich. You feel me? Like, nigga, we came from the struggle.
I ain't gonna lie.
I never wanted to forget that. So I'm one of them niggas who, you give me a check for $100,000, nigga, and 6 months
last.
from now, you coming to me like, nigga, you ain't cashed that check yet? Cause I ain't seen it hit my bank yet. I'll be like, hell nah, nigga. That motherfucker, I try to stay normal and regular to not get upon and live above my means. I'm not one of them niggas who I came from the block and then the nigga handed me $1 million and tomorrow I'm finna make you feel like, nigga, I was born with this silver spoon in my mouth. You feel me? I was always buying Versace jackets and pulling up the roll. I never wanted to alienate the niggas I was around.
Well, when I got the first piece of money, man, everything changed. The food I ate, everything changed.
I didn't even try to do that. Man, I'm telling you, I just started doing.
Still to this day, it's like I can't go to Denny's and eat a steak, man. I gotta be at Le Petit Four or something like that, man. I gotta have, I gotta know if this motherfucker grain fed and all that.
Motherfucker.
I said,
this
what?
Nigga said grain fed. See, that's what I be talking about, man. Niggas get a little money in their pocket. Now they want grass-fed beef and like that.
Oh, yeah,
Niggas want
Are these eggs free range?
Niggas want free range eggs. Niggas want nigga want glass bottled water and shit. You can't drink the plastic bottle no more.
Somewhere and they say no, still is sparkling.
Yeah, you want, see, that's one of them.
Let me guess, it's sparkling. You know what that up though?
Fucking ass nigga.
You definitely develop a different palate once you start getting some money, man.
I think everybody did that with especially if you came from the struggle and you got your first piece of money. I think everybody wanted to show their success around as far as.
But I share with motherfuckers though.
Right.
I did share with people though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you learn quick, man. You can't share your wealth too much, man, because people will take advantage of your situations, especially if they think your shit came easy as far as.
And that it's gonna keep coming.
That music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that came easy.
And it's hard as difficult as a mother. And the worst part about the music though is that there are so many lies being told about these deals and different things like that.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember they said that when Glasses first signed, they was like, yeah, he signed for $1.5 million. I was like, damn.
Sony? That deal?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was going
highly
around everywhere.
publicized.
Yeah.
He would tell And they just couldn't understand. I felt so sorry for Glasses because, you know, he was new. Like, I would hear him on the phone like, cuz, I don't have, like, what do you mean I didn't help you, your mama keep her house? I don't have money like that.
A lot of people tend to take, you know, people really probably don't give a man. And not too many people are familiar or educated with contracts and what, you know, as far as recoupment and all other and what's paid for. So, nigga, you got a video. Nigga, you got a video and a song on the radio. So, nigga, you got $1 billion. And that's when all the, you know, do for me come and whatever. So I've always tried to stay grounded as far as with music is concerned and not try to be too braggadocious in my songs. It's just like tell stories, like you said, I tell stories of modern day struggle, of, you know, the mother who ain't rich, the mother who struggles and gotta work a 9 to 5, and, you know, the nigga who drives the regular car, and, you know, and I don't got no Rolex and no chains, and, you know, I got kids at home that gotta get school clothes, and bills need to be paid, because when you looked upon as these entertainers, people tend to forget that regular life still goes on.
Let me ask you a question. You making that move from Compton and going out to the suburbs, what was the biggest first difference that you noticed?
I had a townhouse outside of Compton. I stayed in a place called Hawaiian Gardens, which was right outside of Cerritos.
Many times.
So you gotta figure back in like 92, 93, moving to Hawaiian Gardens.
Did you get that after It's a Compton thing or during that?
I got to Hawaiian Gardens, man, I didn't get to Hawaiian Gardens till really, like, I want to say Music to Drive By.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's not even that far.
Music to Drive By is when I got to Hawaiian Gardens. It's a Compton thing, straight checking them. I was still on the block. I was still living in Compton with those 2 albums.
Oh, you didn't spend your $20 million advance?
I wish, man.
You could have bought a block.
I didn't get no big advance. My first record, It's a Compton thing, I think Unknown maybe slid me a couple of thousand.
Wow.
And I wrote every song, publishing. I wrote Me and Chill's verses on the whole It's a Compton thing record. I probably got about, and I want to say it was a big if, I might have got $5,000.
Wow.
So damn, you
and that's a big if, man.
That's total ever, period?
Off of It's a Compton thing? Yeah.
Oh,
I ain't never seen a royalty check, a publishing, nothing, because Unknown stole my publishing. So he's still collecting the publishing off of It's a Compton thing and straight checking them. I got compensated by him giving me his Suzuki Samurai. That's what I got.
And 5 stacks, maybe?
Maybe 3 stacks, if that much. And his Suzuki Samurai is what I got.
So he bought him some new shit.
But to a 17, 18-year-old kid who was gang banging and who was living in poverty, nigga, I thought I was rich.
Right.
You feel me? When it was time to do straight checking them, I was still, nigga, I think me and my sister shared an apartment in the hood.
Wow.
I didn't get no money. I didn't get no money to
You was getting shows though, right?
I didn't start doing shows until Growing Up in the Hood dropped. So all before then, I didn't do shows. I didn't do not one show off It's a Compton.
Let me ask you this: how can
Not
it be,
one,
man? Because you was famous at that time, dog. Like you were known.
No, we had one time Gaffing 'Em Up was playing.
One time Gaffing 'Em Up played like every 5 minutes if you had the jukebox.
Yeah.
If you had the
I saw it in Maryland.
Man, if you
That's
had the
what I'm saying.
jukebox, one time Gaffing 'Em Up was on maybe every 5 minutes. But I didn't have a manager. I didn't have a booking agent. Like I said, I was still in the hood every day. So
Wow.
What's his name was robbing you already. I'm surprised he didn't double back and try to get some of that money.
Nah, I didn't get no shows off of It's a Compton thing.
That's shocking.
And then it was in the transition of the labels.
Orpheus
going through what they was going. So basically, It's a Compton thing didn't even get promoted. It was just off the fact that one time Gaffled 'Em Up was hitting so hard on the jukebox is what had us sell like 200 and something thousand records. We wasn't getting no radio play, nothing. All we had was one time Gaffled 'Em Up in that video and video jukebox. And so, no, I didn't see no show money, nothing. I was still on the block trying to sell crack because I didn't make no money. And then so when it was time to, when they did Boys in the Hood, I just happened to be hanging with my nigga JD. Shout out my nigga JD from the Lynch Mob. I just happened to be hanging with JD and went up to the movie set. And John Singleton, he was like, "You got that song." Everybody was watching the jukebox.
Oh, wow.
So everybody knew about One Time Gaffled 'Em Up. So he offered me a motherfucker. And I was like, yeah, right, you know. And nigga, I ended up doing Growing Up in the Hood.
That's crazy. You made bread off that.
Hell no.
You didn't make no bread off of that?
No, because Unknown was controlling.
Still, and
Unknown was controlling shit. And so, I don't know how much I got from doing Growing Up in the Hood. I know I didn't get over $5,000
Oh, hell no.
for record. No, I didn't. Because
Them movie soundtracks back then was giving, you was getting 50 minimum $50,000.
I didn't start making money until
And that's a touch-tone song.
I didn't start making my own bread like that until Pooh came along and offered me the St. Ives commercial.
Wow.
And I negotiated that with Pooh by myself, and they ended up giving me $25,000. And I
And no one was
pocketed
mad
that
in the
shit. Yeah, he did. He went back to Pooh and them talking shit because Pooh had used Growing Up in the Hood beat as, you know what I'm saying? So Unknown was bitching. So I think they had to give him some money because he started claiming, well, I'm the one who produced the beat and blah, blah, blah. And so, but I made $25,000 off that shit. So that's when I started noticing, hey,
there's more
come
money
on,
out
ain't making
here.
no money. Nigga,
Money out
I'm
here.
driving the Suzuki Samurai.
You driving the Samurai?
Nigga, I'm driving the Samurai, nigga. Nigga, I'm driving the Samurai. I had a motherfucking 84 Cutlass, nigga, with the European front on Dayton's, nigga. And I had the Samurai. But I'm still living in Compton. And I'm like, I'm not understanding, like, I'm writing every song, whoop-de-whoop. I was getting a couple of shows off of Growing Up in the Hood and whatever, but I wasn't understanding while I was, you know, why am I still driving the Samurai around and I ain't got enough money to whatever.
So that was your first big money, that 25?
Yep, that was my first big check doing the St. Ives
And that's when you
commercial.
started talking shit to Unknown.
And that's when I started going that, because that was at the time where Cube left and
Yeah, so
everybody
you seen all
doing
that
their
shit.
thing. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm starting to feel a
Wait
certain
minute.
way.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's when,
Crazy.
And so
Crazy.
motherfucking, when they came to do it, by the time I did Music to Drive By, I was at the table like, this nigga.
Well, that
I was at the
album
I was at the
sounds
table
a lot
like-
angrier.
Yeah, I was at the table like, this nigga. Nah, man, nah. And then I found out the nigga stole some money and, you know, he got a publishing deal and, you know, man, so,
Did them publishing people had to break you off some money?
no. He had already took the money. He had already cut the deal. We found out a nigga was stealing because a nigga got drunk one night and left his checkbook at the studio.
Man.
And we just happened to go through the checkbook and saw a deposit for a publishing deal. And I'm going like, how a nigga getting a publishing deal when I'm writing all the songs? Slip doing all the beats.
How much you get on this pub deal?
He got about 70 grand.
Shit, yeah.
And
I
back in
think
that time,
he gave me probably about 5 grand. Gave Slip maybe 2,500 and kept the rest.
Now that motherfucker's a gangster.
That's a lot of money back then.
DJ Unknown is a motherfucking
Damn,
gangster.
nigga,
That's a lot of
90,
money.
92, 93.
That's a lot
A nigga
of money.
break you off 70 grand?
70.
Nigga, please. Nigga, do you know what I would have did with said nigga, please? You know. But like I said, I've never been, and even
crazy.
yeah, man, the way you think about it. But I've never been to the point of, not to say appreciative of the dollar, but my most critical years where I should have been a millionaire, nigga, I was getting scraps, but I came from nothing. So being able to drive around every day, being able to have my own apartment, and you know, I thought Compton was everything, so I'm still in Compton, and everybody know me a little bit because I got the 2 albums out, and you know, I was beyond the whatever, and you know, majority of everybody besides, you know, me and Quick and that type of thing. But on the other aspect, man, I could basically go everywhere. Right. I went to different hoods and neighborhoods and hung out with niggas, and you know, I still wanted to be considered a normal nigga. You know, I low ride up and down Crenshaw with niggas every Sunday and shit like that. You know, I still wanted to be, you know, my niggas had security and was living in Calabasas and mansions and whatever. Nigga, I'm on Crenshaw every night, hopping my 6 trade with regular ass niggas, because I wanted to be a regular nigga still.
That's crazy, man. Just seeing the way, like when you went over to Who Banging, would you say that was probably the label you had the most fun on? Because you could have went to No Limit too, right?
I could have went to No Limit. I mean, I with Mac and Who Banging because, you know, I felt I wanted to keep my my following. I wanted to keep my fan base of
it was
the
more,
foundation of motherfuckers.
It was more in line with your fan base. That makes more sense.
So, you know,
well, Master P got.
I was hanging with Dog a lot, and Dog had went over there, and you know, I met P and all the crew and everybody, you know, but I was close. But like I said, I hooked up with Mac, and Mac was like, you know, we West Coast, let's keep the foundation of the West Coast. And so
that's funny because he went and took a bag over Cash Money not too long after that.
Exactly. But you know, it was just, like I said, I've always considered myself to be how they has the phrase, the homeboy next door, how they say the girl next door. I'm the nigga next door, man. I'm not the nigga who gonna alienate you, and you know, we grew up the same, and I want you to feel that same way. I'm not no better. I don't want to be posterized as, oh, that's Eiht, you know. So that's why I didn't do nothing out of the ordinary. You know, I didn't dress, you know, fashion statements, and you know, I still wear sweatshirts and regular shoes. And
I want to go back to this No Limit shit, man, because you know, I used to picture him now, because you picture him with one of them Pin the Pixel nut covers.
Of course, but
he'd have been sitting on a throne. He'd have been sitting on a throne like this with a whole bunch of flowers.
They would have had to have. They would have had to have my blinged out lowrider or some like that. You know.
But Eiht and Solo and with Compton's Most Wanted had some of the best covers anyway. So that was unnecessary.
Definitely.
Unnecessary.
Like everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Going through those trials of coming out of being signed to a label, trying to figure out your next move. You know, you make decisions, you know. What would it have taken me? Who knows? But I ended up doing 2 albums with Who Banging, and then after that, I've been independent. Like, just you know.
So, let me ask you this.
Now I'm not to blame, but it's all on my own self, you know. I don't want to, oh, we didn't sell this much, or we didn't recoup this, or whatever. What I put into it is what I get out of it, and that's it. That's good enough for me.
Let me ask you this.
Feel me?
Smooth Cut Productions.